Lesson 14. Emergency.
Warm-up dialogue. Should we worry? Did you feel that earthquake last night?
What earthquake?
Oh, it was nothing really. The bed was shaking, that's all. You must have slept right through it.
What time did that happen?
About midnight, I guess.
It's strange, but yesterday we talked about earthquakes in science class.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, the teacher said there are quakes every day, but we don't notice them because they are so slight.
I'm surprised to hear that. I thought last night was an unusual event.
But it could have been a lot worse. We all could have been killed instantly, and we never would have known about it.
Oh, don't worry about it. Those big ones really are very rare.
But they can happen anywhere, and we don't have any way of predicting where or when.
So there isn't any reason to worry about it if there isn't anything we can do about it, is there?
No, that's all the more reason to worry. If we had more control, we could worry less.
Questions. 1. What happened last night? Who knew about the quake, Jake or his mother? 2. Should we worry more about earthquakes or less? 3. Do you know what to do in case of an earthquake? Pictures talk.
One. Question number 1. What is happening in the picture? Has your house ever been broken into? Question number 2. What do burglars usually steal? Question number 3. What punishment do you think burglars deserve?
2. Question number 1. What is happening here? Question number 2. What did the boy do wrong? Question number 3. What would you do if you saw this happen in real life?
3. Question number 1. What is happening in the picture? Question number 2. What should you do if someone were seriously sick and there was no one there to help you? Question number 3. Have you ever gone to an emergency room? What happened?
4. Question number 1. What happened here? What should you do if you were one of the drivers? Question number 2. What are the main causes of traffic accidents? Question number 3. Is your family car insured? What does it mean to be insured?
5. Question number 1. What is happening? Have you ever seen a house on fire? Question number 2. What do you think about firefighters? Question number 3. What does arson mean? Do you have any idea why firebugs behave as they do?
6. Question number 1. What in the world is happening? Question number 2. Does it flood often where you live? Question number 3. Who should be responsible for the damage, the government or the people? Answer me. One. Watch out. Are you all right? You look pale.
I just came back from the hospital.
Oh, what happened?
I burned myself in hot water.
Oh, that's terrible.
I was playing with my brother in the kitchen and bumped against the stove. A pan of hot water fell on me.
Are you okay?
I was lucky. The water wasn't quite boiling yet, so the doctors put some salve on my hand and told me I'd be okay.
Next time, be more careful.
Questions. 1. Have you ever been burned or scalded? 2. Do you know how to treat a scald? What do you do in case of a burn? 3. What are the best ways to avoid being burned or scalded?
2. Be more careful.
Ow!
Frank, what's wrong?
I think I cut myself.
You're bleeding. Let me look.
It hurts.
I don't think it's too bad. Let's see if we can stop the bleeding.
I think it stopped now.
Let's just squeeze here a little longer to be sure. Then we'll wash it very thoroughly and see if you need stitches.
No, I think it's okay. I was surprised when I cut myself, but I don't really think it's a bad cut.
You need to be careful when you're holding a knife. Questions. 1. Do you ever peel an apple or a pear by yourself? 2. Have you ever had a paper cut? 3. What should you do to keep from cutting yourself? 3. An unpleasant occurrence.
Ouch!
What happened?
I just got stung by a wasp.
Oh, where is it now?
I swatted at it, but it flew away.
Good. I hope it isn't here anymore. I don't want to get stung too.
No, it's gone.
How do you feel?
It hurts, and it's starting to swell up.
I think we need to go home and get it treated.
Yes, I think you're right. Let's go.
Do you need any help?
No, I think I'll be okay until we get home.
Mom told us to watch out for snakes and insects.
Yeah, now I know why. It really hurts. Questions. 1. Have you ever been stung by a wasp or some other insect? 2. When you are in the woods, are you afraid of snakes? 3. Do you know how to avoid getting bitten by wild animals?
4. Helping a lost child. Who's that up ahead?
It looks like a little kid. I've never seen him before.
Why is he crying?
Maybe he's lost. Little boy, do you know where your parents are?
I think he's too little to talk.
Maybe we can get him to stop crying.
Then we can try to find his parents. Questions. 1. What has happened? 2. What should Augie and Bernice do? 3. Have you ever been lost alone in a strange place? How were you found? Let's talk more.
1. Thunderstruck. Have you ever been wakened in the middle of the night by a thunderstorm? Have you tried counting the seconds between a lightning flash and the sound of thunder to find out how far away the lightning is? The sound of thunder is a very dramatic and sometimes frightening event. Throughout history and around the world, it has inspired people to create stories about it. For instance, the ancient Germans told many tales about Thor, the god of thunder, while the Greeks and Romans usually pictured their chief god, Zeus or Jupiter, with a thunderbolt in his hand. Questions. 1. Are you scared of thunderstorms? 2. What are the precautions you should take if you are outside during a thunderstorm? 3. Do you know any stories, myths, fairy tales about what causes thunder?
2. Lucky or careful? Which is better? Most accidents are preventable. People generally know how to avoid them, but we are too cocksure and unconcerned to take sufficient care. That is why we disobey traffic laws. We run with scissors in our hands. We don't read warning labels on appliances. We don't think anything bad can happen to us. And most of the time, we get away with it. Nothing happens. Everything is fine. And so next time we do the same careless thing. But eventually, sooner or later, our lack of attention catches up with us, and we get hurt or we injure someone else. Only then do we think about the consequences of our poor behavior. But then it is too late. Questions. 1. Why do people drown? 2. Why are there so many fires? 3. Why are there so many injuries due to car accidents?
3. Suddenly. One of the most frightening natural occurrences in the world is a tsunami. It comes without warning. There is no sound. The sky does not suddenly become dark. The earth doesn't shake. And it may be caused by a geological event that occurred thousands of miles away, perhaps deep underwater. But suddenly, a massive amount of water comes upon us all at once and carries away everything in its path. People drown and buildings are knocked down. Cars and buses are overturned and roads swept away. And then, as quickly as it came, it is gone, leaving a path of destruction behind. Questions. 1. Where do tsunamis usually take place? When? 2. What happens when a tsunami occurs? 3. How are they caused? Do they happen often?
4. The policy. Insurance is a simple idea, really. Several people are concerned about some kind of potential catastrophe, let's say a house fire. They know that the odds against their own particular homes burning down are remote, but they also know that if it happens, they can't recover their losses very easily. So they all agree to pool some resources and use the collective money to pay for fire damage to any of their homes. The odds against it happening remain the same. But now if one of them gets unlucky, at least he won't lose everything. Questions. 1. Is your house insured against fire? 2. Is your family's car insured? What does the insurance cover? 3. Are your parents' lives insured? What about your life? Real talk. Red is red, not pink.
Look at that car.
Yes, I see it. I wonder why the traffic was moving so slowly. I thought there must be an accident, and there it is.
There's only one car. What happened?
They must have already towed the other one away. It looks like that one was broadsided. Probably the other driver ran a red light and hit this one.
Do you think anyone was hurt?
It's hard to say. The windshield is not smashed. I'd guess the driver of this car was wearing a seatbelt and is probably okay. But I wonder how bad the other car looked before they took it away.
Driving is scary.
You get used to it, but you have to be very alert all the time.
If this guy was going through a green light and was halfway across the intersection before he was rammed by someone running a red light, how could he have avoided the accident?
Well, that's right. We can't always be sure we're safe no matter what we do. But most of the time we'll be fine if we're careful and we try to anticipate what the cars around us are going to do and not be in too much of a hurry.
You sound like Dad.
Your father's a smart man.
Questions. 1. What do you think caused the accident? 2. What are some good driving rules? 3. A good driver is one who, after seeing a wreck, drives carefully for several blocks. What does this mean?
Read me. I'd rather not think about it. We think we are great, but actually we are midgets compared to nature. We are powerless in many natural disasters. They can happen suddenly at any time and destroy our lives. However, we can diminish our losses and survive even dreadful misfortunes, such as earthquakes, typhoons, etc. We know how to make buildings that are strong enough and flexible enough to withstand these accidents. We can make dams to protect us against floods. Many of these terrible events are predictable. Heavy rains occur in the same places every year. We know when hurricanes are most likely, and with satellites we watch them as the storms build and move. And we know how to behave when these natural tragedies occur. So we are not entirely helpless, but most of us prefer to believe that it can't happen to me and fail to take even elementary precautions. Questions. 1. How great are we, really? 2. What can happen to us? 3. How can we prevent some of the bad consequences of natural disasters? 4. Why don't we?